Thank you so much for joining us today here. My name is Christine, and I am practicing with folks from Breast Friends organization in Tigard, Oregon. If you or anyone you know might benefit from their organization, their website is linked in the description box below. I highly recommend them. They are a wonderful, supportive group and very, very responsive. I'm just stepping over to my computer to admit another participant. There we go. So we are practicing in our chairs today. So find yourself a safe and sturdy chair, something where you can have your feet on the floor. And if you can't get your feet on the floor, you could use some yoga blocks if you have them, or maybe a couple of books or a pillow or something like that to bring the ground a little bit closer to you. And if you are joining us now, please make sure to put your contact information, email address, or phone number in the chat. And when you do find that your feet are on the ground and you're sitting in a safe, sturdy, and comfortable chair, we'll go ahead and just begin to drop into your practice. We were just talking about multitasking. We've all got stuff to do around the house, stuff to do in our jobs. So this is your time to just focus on you. Just this one thing, one step at a time. So notice what kind of thoughts are floating around in your mind. Maybe thinking about what else you have to do this afternoon, or what you want for lunch today, or some conversation you've had that you're kind of ruminating on. And just notice those thoughts. Notice what kinds of things are rolling around up there. And you might even begin to close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do that. And give yourself a little bit of grace for the busyness of the thinking mind. And if you notice those thoughts coming back as we practice together today, again, just notice them, extend yourself a bit of grace, and redirect your attention to our practice. So as you're sitting quietly with your feet on the ground, begin to really direct your attention to the soles of your feet, where they're contacting the floor underneath them. And just notice how that shift of awareness, that shift of attention can take away the power of the thinking mind and bring it into your body. And then with your hands resting palm down on your lap, now redirect your attention to the palms, to how they feel against your lap, the fabric or your skin. You might notice a sense of coolness or warmth. Just really taking a few moments here to redirect all your energy, all your attention to you. And then just kind of check in with your back, your spine, your neck, and your shoulders, and notice how you're sitting. Are you kind of sitting hunched forward a little bit? Or are you sitting back a little bit? And see if you can bring your head and your heart right over your pelvis so that your hip bones are pretty much in line with your pubic bone. They're not extending back or leaning far over, but right in line with that central bone. And then let your attention travel up the length of your spine. Imagine yourself growing a little bit taller, creating more space for those discs. And then notice if you're carrying tension in your shoulders. See if you can relax and soften those. And then traveling up your neck, your throat. Notice any tension that might be there. And see if you can just relax a little bit, let go. And then checking in with the jaw, which is one place where I tend to carry a lot of tension. You might even open your mouth a couple times and fake a yawn. Just and once more, open up the mouth, fake a yawn, or maybe you can generate a real one. And then as you come back, let your jaw be relaxed, teeth separate, but lips together, tongue released from the roof of the mouth. And then check in with the skin around your beautiful eyes. See if you're kind of squinting or holding tension there, and soften around the eye sockets, the temples, between the eyebrows, and all the way across your forehead. Just another moment here, letting yourself be still. Just like our computers need a reset sometimes, so do our bodies and our minds. So we're just resetting here. And then bring your attention to your breath. You might bring one hand to your heart and one hand to your belly. Let those shoulders and elbows soften down towards your body. And just notice where your body expands as you take that inhale. And notice if you can soften anywhere, any little bit more as you exhale. You might feel that expansion more in the chest than in the belly. So to calm the nervous system, the stress response, we want to try and have that nice deep belly breath. So we'll inhale into the belly. Maybe feel the chest rise a bit. And then exhale, softening the belly, softening the heart. And as you take your next inhale, count to yourself how many beats it takes. It might be 3 or 4 or 10, doesn't matter. But when you have the exhale, see if you can match the length of the exhale to the length of the inhale. It's another good way to recruit our parasympathetic nervous system to calm the stress response. And just continue here with your breath. Your feet on the ground, your hands on your body, and your attention focused there. And we really do want to calm the stress response, because when we are in fight or flight, all of the blood, not all, but most of the blood shunts out to our legs and our arms so that we can fight or flee. Or maybe we might be in freeze or shut down, where we kind of curl in on ourselves and slow everything down. And when we do that, we don't have enough blood for our thymus gland, our heart, our lungs, our digestive organs to be healthy and strong. We don't have enough support for them or for our immune system. So we really want to bring everything back into balance so that we can support those processes of our body. Just a few more breaths here. Being patient and soft with yourself. And as you are ready, you can release your hands again to your lap, or maybe bring them to prayer position, Anjali Mudra, to your heart. And you might here set an intention for your practice. And I invite you to have your own intention, whatever that might be for you today. But my suggestion is to just love yourself. Come at this practice with the intention of just showing yourself love and compassion and grace. One more inhale. Exhale, release your hands down to your sides, and let's just roll the shoulders a few times. So as you inhale, roll your shoulders forward and up. And as you exhale, draw them back and down. Again, we'll do that a few times. Move at the pace of your breath. So that same inhale, whatever it is, 3, 4, 5 count up. And the same exhale, whatever your count is, back down. Let's just do this a few more times. And we're not going to 100% of our range of motion. We don't want to create any imbalance. We just want to lovingly, gently relax and move our shoulders. The next time those shoulders come back and down, we'll anchor them there. Bring those palms once again to rest in your lap. And then we'll get a little neck movement here. So with the neck, we're going to kind of do a chicken neck a little bit. This is a great thing to do for tech neck if you're on your phone or tablet or whatever a lot during the day. We tend to kind of, and I'll turn to the side so you can see, we tend to kind of hunch forward a little bit and that chin floats forward. And we want everything to be aligned up over the pelvis. So in order to kind of work out the kinks in the neck, we're going to practice a little chicken neck here. So imagine your base of your skull is kind of like a drawer, and we're just going to slide the drawer forward and then slide the drawer back. Kind of drawing that chin forward and then drawing it back, kind of like you're trying to make some double chins. Let's do that a few more times. And then as you have the movement down, you can link the movement with your breath. So inhale nice and slow forward. Exhale nice and slow back. Let's do that 3 more times together. And the next time you draw that chin back over your pelvis, relax your shoulders and come back into alignment. And just pause for a moment here to notice if there's any rebound effects of this gentle practice so far, of the breathing, of the movement, of the attention. And then we'll get a little bit of spinal movement here. So we'll find a seated cat and cow. So again, I'll turn to the side so you can see, making sure I've got my feet on the ground. And as we inhale, we're gonna arch the spine a little bit, lift the heart up, and maybe look up towards the sky. And as you exhale, round the spine, drawing your belly button back and your chin down towards your heart. Inhale, cow pose. And exhale, using that same balanced breath into cat pose. And we'll just continue moving at your own pace. And as you do this here, think about articulating every single vertebrae of your spine. So as you come forward into cow, think about the tailbone, the sacrum, the low back, the mid back, the shoulder blades in the neck. And as you exhale, round from the tailbone, round the low back, round the mid back. Open up the shoulders and bring the chin down towards the heart. So you might visualize it like a zipper or a string of beads. And again, let's do 3 more rounds of this here. Remember to keep your jaw soft, as well as the skin of the forehead and around the eyes. And the next time you inhale, come back to that nice tall spine. And just notice what you notice for a moment. You might notice some sensation even in your arms and your shoulders, as well as the back and front of the body. And then we'll get a little wrist movement here. A lot of us have wrist issues these days with the kind of work that we do. So extend your right arm out, and you can keep your forearm resting against your side body for stability. And we're going to support that forearm with the left hand. We're just going to make some circles here in the wrist, but not just willy-nilly. We're going to be really intentional about it. So let your wrist open, your palm come forward, and your fingers point down to the ground as much as you're able. And then we'll swing the pinky towards the center. The palm will start to come towards you. And then the fingers will point up to the sky. And then we'll draw that thumb out to the right and the fingers back down to center. So again, we're not forcing anything here, but we're really keeping that arm stable while we get some healthy movement in the hand. The next time the fingers point down, we'll switch directions. And we'll do 3 times in the second direction as well. 3 times in each direction. It might feel a little awkward, a little strange, but we can do new things. The next time those fingers point down, we'll just release the left hand and we'll curl the fingers in and open them up, spread them wide, curl them in gently, open them up, spread them wide, and then one more time. And then just turn your palm back down to your lap and notice the rebound effect in your forearm, your hand, your wrist, and anywhere else you're feeling sensation. And then we'll move to the other side. So right hand supports the left forearm, left fingertips are pointing down, palm is forward. And we'll start with the pinky side again, drawing it in towards center. And then the fingertips up as the palm faces you. And then the thumb out and the fingertips down. 3 times in each direction. Try to isolate the movement in the wrist. And then reverse those circles. And you might notice some differences in the left side as compared to the right. And when you've got 3 in each direction, we'll release the right hand and open and close the left hand a few times. And then again, we'll turn the palm down on the lap and just notice what's happening in your arms, maybe even your shoulders, your fingers, maybe your elbows. And then we'll get a little bit more of a stretch in those shoulders. Again, these outer arm muscles here tend to get a lot of activity as we work on those electronic devices, especially our phones or tablets that we're holding. You might notice a little irritation or soreness in the outer arms. So we're going to address that by giving ourselves a big hug. So with your next nice, balanced, soft inhale, open up your arms as much as feels good to you. And then with your exhale, we're gonna wrap our arms around our shoulders, right arm on top to begin. And just take a hold of your shoulders or your upper arms, whatever you can comfortably reach. If you can get up to the shoulders, you might walk those fingertips back towards the shoulder blades as much as you can and just give yourself a nice big hug. And here, as you breathe, you might notice some expansion right behind your heart in between those shoulder blades. Maybe out into your shoulders, pressing into your hands. Again, you're always welcome to have your eyes closed or open, whatever feels good. And then we'll extend that right arm and hug it in with the left hand. So you might still be up on the shoulder or maybe on this outer arm here. And we're just hugging it across the body. We're not twisting to the left. We're keeping the head and the shoulders in square and in line with the pelvis. We're just drawing that right arm in, extending that thumb up towards the sky and the pinky down towards the ground. Draw the base of your skull up and back, kind of like we did with that chicken thing, the chicken movement, but not so extreme. We're not trying to make a double chin here. We're just wanting a little bit of engagement up and back. And here, as you inhale, you might feel that expansion into your left hand. A couple more breaths here. And then with your next inhale, we'll open those arms up nice and wide once again. Exhale, left arm on top this time. Give yourself a hug. Hold yourself here with that loving intention. Just like you would if a kid, maybe your kid, your grandkid, your niece or nephew, maybe your dog, if they came to you and they had an issue, you wouldn't just say, oh, well, just get back to work. You would say, oh, how can I help you out here? So with that kind, loving intention for yourself. A lot of us tend to give that love to others, but we don't give very much to ourselves. So this is your time to love you. And then as you're ready, we'll extend the left arm, continue hugging it in, really drawing those shoulder blades down and back, keeping the base of the skull lifted and the neck and the spine long. And a couple more breaths here. Next time you inhale, we'll open up nice and wide once again. This time we'll bring the hands either to the back of the chair seat or maybe to interlace at the base of your spine. So again, I'll turn so you can see. So you might be holding onto the chair seat like this, or maybe interlacing your fingers here, and we'll draw the knuckles down if you have them interlaced, or we'll hold onto the edge of the chair and we're just going to lift the heart up, kind of draw your shoulder blades towards one another, and lift your gaze up towards the sky as much as feels good to you. Maybe your throat opens, you might draw the shoulders away, drawing the collarbones away from each other. And just feel the length of your throat. And again, you might fake a yawn here, opening the mouth wide. And exhaling, bringing your bottom lip towards your top lip. One more time. And then we'll release, bring the chin level to the earth, unwind those arms, and come back to sit in your comfortable seat, hands resting on your lap, noticing what you notice, letting yourself feel what's happening inside your body. Then we're going to get a little opening in the front of the hip flexors, another place that we tend to hold stress and trauma, because when we're in fight, flies, or freeze, we're kind of hunched over, and those hip flexors can get a little shortened and carry that stress for us. So a couple ways we can do this. You might want to stay in your chair and just scoot over to the left side. And we're just going to keep the right leg bent and supported on the chair, and we'll send the left knee down towards the ground with the top of the foot resting down. So again, I'll turn to the side so you can see we're right here. This might be a great place to stay, or if you want to come to stand, you can use your chair for balance. Holding onto the back of your chair, we're just gonna tuck those toes under. Getting into the front of the hip flexor, a little bit into the quad. And here we're just gonna press the foot into the mat and engage that left glute. So inhale, press the foot down, engage. Exhale, release. Inhale, press and squeeze. Exhale, release. One more time. And release. We'll do that 3 more times. If you like, you can add the arm in. So bring your right hand can be resting on your chair for balance. And we're just going to inhale, press the top of the foot, squeeze the glute, raise the left arm up. And exhale, release. Inhale, raise the fingers up to the sky, engage the glutes, press the top of the foot down, and release. Once more. And release. Come back to sitting on your chair or standing behind it. Bring your hands to your sides, mountain pose. Tadasana, whether you're seated or standing. Heart lifted over the pelvis, head over the heart. And notice how the left side of your body feels a little different than the right side, if that's the case. If not, that's how you feel today. So no judgment. We're just gathering that information. And then we'll turn the right foot top of the right foot to the ground. And just stay here for a moment. Notice if that left hip is wanting to jut out and see if you can bring those hips into alignment. And then we'll press the top of this foot down and squeeze the right glute. As you exhale, release. Inhale, engage. Exhale, release. Last time here. And then you might add the arm here or continue with just the lower body. Inhale as you reach the arm up to the sky, adding that to the glute and the foot engagement. And exhale, release and lower down. Inhale, press, squeeze, reach. Exhale, release. One more time here. And lower down. Bring the foot back to the ground, the sole of the foot. Come back to your mountain pose, whether that is seated or standing. I'm going to come back to my chair. And in fact, let's all go ahead and come back to our chair. Scoot back as far as you comfortably can with your feet still on the ground. We'll bring those hands to rest in the lap. And we'll do a seated Shavasana, our final resting pose, just to check back in with whatever's going on with your body, whatever might be happening physically or energetically, or maybe even emotionally. And just let those feelings be there. You might notice your heart beating. You might notice a sense of aliveness in the palms of your hands, your arms or your legs. And as we're here together, eyes closed or gaze soft, I invite you to just bring one thing to mind that you appreciate. One thing in your daily life that you can count on. I always think about my bed. I have a really lovely mattress and super soft microfiber sheets. Getting in every night is such sometimes a relief. But it's just cozy and warm and supportive. And I really appreciate that I have that in my life every day. So whatever it is for you, whether it's that first cup of coffee or tea in the morning, or maybe petting your furry family member as they rest in your lap, whatever it is in your daily life that you really appreciate. And we really want to foster that sense of appreciation that also calms the stress response as we turn on endorphins and serotonin with our gratitude. And then you could bring to mind a place that you love. Maybe it's the beach. Maybe it is the mountains, your favorite lake. Maybe it's your couch or your backyard. Just some place that you really love to be. And let that sense of love also come into your body, triggering oxytocin, the connection hormone, to help you reconnect to yourself. And then finally, with the gratitude and the love floating around in your body, supporting those wonderful feel-good hormones in the parasympathetic nervous system. You might once again bring your hand to your heart and one to your belly. Hug your elbows in towards your body. Give yourself a gentle hug and some of that appreciation and love that you just created for yourself. One more full breath here. Let's inhale as we open up the arms. Reach them out or maybe up alongside your ears if that feels good, in your shoulders. We'll bring the hands together at the heart with an exhale. And maybe carry with you the intention for the rest of your day, maybe even the rest of your weekend, to just love yourself, no matter what, unconditionally. Thank you all so much for being here today. May you have peace in your thoughts, in your words, and in your hearts. Namaste.